Hello, welcome to the channel. You may be wondering why I titled it Astronomy on a Budget. Simply put, because if you are going to get into this hobby, I feel that it is best to set up a budget for yourself to follow when buying equipment or accessories to do your observing or imaging or anything else like that. It is very easy to start off wanting to have the best telescope, the best this, the best that, and then you start going down the rabbit hole of, oh, I need dew heaters, I gotta have more lenses, I have to have filters. The list goes on and on. But if you set a budget up, especially if you're just getting started or you're a parent buying a telescope for your children, it's going to help you in the long run to get the most out of your money. Granted, everyone's going to have a different budget in mind. Everybody can afford a different amount of equipment or to spend whatever amount of money. But the thing you want to do is start out simple. If you're just starting out, you don't know much about what you're looking at in the sky, you want to keep it as simple as possible. So we're going to talk about beginner telescopes. To me, a beginner telescope is simple. It's an altazimuth mount, up, down, left, right, like this one here. This one happens to be a tabletop Dobsonian. And you can just point it in the sky and start looking for anything that might be up there. They sell telescopes now that have software that will guide you using your phone where to go. But the thing is, if you're a beginner, you have to set that software up. You have to know in the sky where certain stars are to align the telescope so the software knows where to go. It sounds good on paper. A lot of people put out videos saying how easy it is to use, but to someone who doesn't know the difference in star magnitude or where certain stars are, they're going to become frustrated. So simply put, keep it simple. Try to stick with something up, down, left, right. This is what you want to start out with. There are applications out there that you can get for your phone, your tablet, your computer. SkyMap is on Android. Celestron makes some software. There's Stellarium. There's tons of software out there that can give you a general idea of where to point a telescope to find things in the sky to look at. You don't want to start someone out or yourself with things like an equatorial mount that's going to require that you set it up based on your latitude, and then you have to go and do a polar alignment with it before you can even use it. It's too complicated. And you need to know what you're doing before you get into that. You can learn that along the way, but it's going to take time. You're going to have to really get into the subject of astronomy and want to learn how to use that type of equipment. Once you have time under your belt and things like that, you can move on from something like this to a more advanced telescope, what would be intermediate to advanced. And we'll talk about those later on. But for now, this is the way I would go with it. I wouldn't go out and start buying accessories for it, even though it is the winter months right now, which is the best time to be outside looking at the sky, because there is a lot less pollution. The views are amazing. The sky is crystal clear unless you have clouds, rain, or some people even snow. It's the best time to be out there looking at it, but this time of year you run into the problem of getting frost on the lens, frost on the mirrors, things like that, and then you're talking about dew heaters and what have you. You can get out there and spend some time looking. You're going to be cold, but it's well worth it. And in the event that you do get some frost or anything like that, you don't need to run out and spend hundreds of dollars on a dew heater or straps that go around or anything like that. You can use a hairdryer, a heat gun, as long as you keep it far enough away, and it'll thaw things out so that you can get back to looking through the scope and enjoying your night. This particular scope I picked up used Online, it costs around $220. It is a Skywatcher Heritage 150p. What I like about it is it's got a 5-inch mirror, which is pretty amazing. You can see quite a bit with this. What I don't like is the truss rod design. This allows a lot of stray light to enter. It can bounce off of the mirror here and can screw things up for you, but there's a simple fix. If you get into a scope like this, just get some craft foam, make a little insert that slides in, put some Velcro up the top to secure it, and it keeps all the stray light out. You're good to go. I think that's about all I want to talk about for now. Just make a budget, try to stick to it as best as you can. Don't try to get into things that are too fancy or too out of your comfort zone. If you don't know how to use it, chances are you're going to be disappointed. You're going to get frustrated and you're going to give up on astronomy. And that's not the point of this channel. The whole point of this channel is I want to educate people and help them to understand what they're getting into. I want people to be excited to go out and look at the sky. This started for me before I was a teenager. My parents got me my first telescope for Christmas, and I took it out, set it up. Really didn't know what I was doing, but the moon's an easy target, so that's the first thing I looked at. And it blew my mind. Throughout the years it kept going. I had a high school teacher who I had an astronomy class with, and he was fantastic. He wrote most of the textbooks that are used today. And if it wasn't for him, I don't think I would still be involved in this. Anyway, as I said, keep it simple as possible, especially if you're starting out. Up, down, left, right, a finder scope. And that should be more than enough to get you started in this hobby. You will, of course, want to set up your finder scope during the daytime so that you can see what you're looking at, make sure everything is lined up. Every telescope should come with directions on how to do that. This one, I can't speak highly enough about. Like I said, it's compact, travels well, very easy to use, fantastic views. You can't beat it for the money. They have a smaller version that has a 4.5-inch mirror, costs a little bit less. There are other telescopes on the market from Orion, Meade, Celestron, many different brands, High Point Scientific, even though I think theirs are probably a little more expensive. But there are just a ton of them out there. Try to stay away from unbranded things. You may find a diamond in the rough, but more often than not, you won't. I lucked out, I did. But the eyepieces on the branded stuff are better. This one happens to come with colossal eyepieces, so you cannot beat that unless you want to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on way better eyepieces such as Kellner's, or there's just a ton of them out there. But for now, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I hope to bring more videos to you shortly. And hopefully in the future we can do some giveaways on this channel once we get enough subscribers and everything like that. Until then, have a wonderful day.